Arguments over state funding are being complicated from uncertainty around federal funds in Washington. So today, Pennsylvania lawmakers in Harrisburg had education in view.
And our Pennsylvania State Capitol correspondent, Kara Jeffers, reports live from Harrisburg tonight. Good evening, Kara.
Hello, Mike and Eva. Senators in the Budget Committee heard testimony from the Department of Education all day today. Pennsylvania spends about a third of its state budget, over $18 billion, on education every year. That gets divvied up between 500 school districts. How to divvy up that money is always a big conversation. However, complications from the federal level, literally this week, the U.S. Congress had a budget vote, and in that vote, the Education Department federally would get a $330 billion cut over the next 10 years.
We will not go down quietly. We will use our voices. We are loud, and this is just the beginning because we will get louder.
Today, Senate Democrats and education advocates sounded alarms on potential cuts to federal education funds.
To do what we have to do here in Harrisburg to protect the state funding. But if that becomes a reality in Washington, D.C., it becomes a much different conversation here in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania gets roughly $2.8 billion in federal funds for public school districts. The money comes through specific programs for things like special education and support for students from low-income families. While targeted investments, federal funds often make up less than 5% of a school district's budget. Most of the money comes from local taxes and state funds.
I wish we'd hear just a little more from the other side related to how we're going to fix Pennsylvania's issues and a lot less about what the unknown is at this very moment coming out of Washington, D.C.
Lawmakers in Harrisburg created new formulas for distributing state money to school districts last year. This year, Shapiro wants to increase funds that go through that formula by over $500 million. Republicans remain wary that increased spending has not led to better student performance.
There needs to be accountability. We're more than just, hey, here's a check, do whatever you want with it. If our kids can't read at level, if they can't write, if they can't do basic math skills, that's a real problem.
Anytime that lawmakers are talking about education funding, they have to remember that court ruling from 2 years ago, where the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania said that over-reliance on property taxes in these local school districts is unconstitutional. That upcoming budget deficits for the state will all continue to shape this conversation. In Harrisburg, I'm Kara Jeffers, Erie News Now.